So ngasigi topic sina vectors and scalars. Kana physics study to matamda vector is an important way. Idea learning physics with knowledge of vector, learning physics without knowledge of vector. Si kenani aduna vector is an important way. Aina ngasi pakat kadalbat chapter sida among the sigi vector and scalars. Sige related with, but not in the portion of kinematics. For example, say no electrostatics, the vector gamari number question mayam hangi the magnetic effects of current, the laws of motion, the work power energy, the togan but chapters in the vector ki application the based of NEET hangi ba question. So, gonna scalar quantity, scalar quantities have vector quantities have So, vector scalar quantities are those quantities having magnitude only. Those quantities having magnitude only are known as scalar quantities. Say, for example, mass, time, temperature, electric current, etc. While vector quantities are those quantities having magnitude as well as direction. So those quantities having magnitude as well as directions are known as vector quantities. Example, say this displacement, velocity, acceleration, force, etc. So there are so many physical quantities, so many vectors, so many scalars you have learned. Now let me give you some definition, some important, say some important definitions. Some important definition. So number one, say equal vectors. Equal vector. Say equal vector. Suppose say vector हम ले रहे हैं A. Another vector B. We have two vectors A and B. So A and B are said to be equal if they have equal magnitude and they are in the same direction. They are in the same directions. So two vectors A and B are said to be equal if A and B have same magnitudes and same directions. Number 2, negative vectors. As the name indicates, say A is along this and B is along this. So two vectors are said to be negative vectors, means A is negative of B when they have equal magnitudes but opposite directions. So A is equal to minus B. Collinear vector. So A, another vector B. So we have two vectors A and B. So this we can draw as A, B. So collinear vectors are vectors in the same directions. They may have equal or unequal magnitude, equal or unequal magnitude. But same direction. अर्थात यहाँ collinear vector को then co-initial vector. ये अब vector हम ले रहे हैं, another vector B, another vector C, another vector D. So these vectors are vectors having a common initial points. So these are known as common initial points level vectors co-initial vector ko. Then unit vector. Unit vector aita the vector having unit magnitude. Unit magnitude. Unit magnitude level vector hamabu akona unit vector ko. So vector E aba vector am le then vector C is ki say unit vector of E is vector say A cap say vector divided by its magnitude. Adotadi adu akona unit vector ko because it has unit magnitude. Then orthogonal vector. Orthogonal vector height adi so ekana perpendicular web. So this is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So I is unit vector along x-axis, j is unit vector along y-axis, k is unit vector along z-axis. So they are perpendicular to each other. This angle is 90 degree, this angle is 90 degree, this angle is 90 degree. So I, j and k are unit vectors along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. Then I, j, k are said to be orthogonal vectors. I, j and k are orthogonal vectors. Means I is orthogonal to j, j is orthogonal to k, k is orthogonal to I, etc. Now a vector A in three-dimensional space can be represented by A equal to AXI plus AYJ plus AZK. Okay. This is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Now we consider a vector A. This is a vector A. So I is unit vector along x-axis, j unit vector along y-axis, k is unit vector along z-axis. And what is ax? Ax, x component of A, ay, y component of A, az is z component of A, and I unit vector along x-axis, j unit vector along y-axis and k unit vector along z-axis. Now A is represented by a vector A in three-dimensional space can be represented by this. Then what is the magnitude of A? So magnitude of A is, by magnitude we represent by this modulus or simply A, and this is equal to square root of sum of these squares. Sum of the squares of the three components, and unit vector of A is A cap equal to vector divided by its magnitude. Now we can find out some problems. So this also we can write as AXI plus AYJ plus AZK divided by AX square plus AY square plus AZ square. Now we can solve some very simple problem related to this. Say I am giving you some examples, very simple examples. So given, say number 1, a vector A equal to 3I plus 4J minus 5K. Number 2, another vector B equal to 2I minus 2J and a vector C equal to minus 10K. Now for these three vectors, find magnitude and unit vectors. Now we know that A is in three-dimensional space x, y, z, and B is in x, y plane, and C is, what is direction of C? C is along negative z axis. So number 1, A equal to 3I plus 4J minus 5K. Then magnitude of A equal to 3 square plus 4 square plus minus 5 square. So this is 9 plus 16 plus 25. So this is root over 50, that is 5 root 2. Then unit vector, say unit vector, say unit vector puto kaita di, say vector divided by its magnitude. So vector is 3I plus 4J minus 5K divided by 5 root 2. So this is 3 by 5 root 2I plus 4 by 5 root 2 j minus 5 by 5 root 2 k. So unit vector is this. Now let us see whether the magnitude of this unit vector is 1 or not. So then, magnitude of this unit vector is so this is 1, so it becomes a unit vector. Now similarly you can solve that Roman number 2 and 3. It is very simple. Now let's go to resolution of a vector. Resolution of a vector into two perpendicular components, two components. Now we have a vector. This is x-axis. The vector makes an angle theta with x-axis. So let it be P M N. So here OM is AX. So this is AX and this is AY. ON or MP equal to AY. Then what is cos theta? Cos theta is base by hypotenuse. So base is OM. Base by hypotenuse is OP equal to OM is AX divided by A, or AX equal to A cos theta. Similarly, sine of theta is perpendicular by base, so perpendicular is MP divided by OP, so this is AY divided by A, so AY equal to A sine theta. So this is known as perpendicular component, this is known as horizontal component, and this is known as vertical component. Now using the unit vectors, So using unit vectors I and j, because we are considering the xy plane, so the vector A can be axi plus ayj. So what is ax? Ax is a cos or a cos theta I plus a sin theta j. Then magnitude of A, say A equal to a cos theta whole square plus a sin theta whole square. So this is A. Now resultant of two vectors. Two vectors P and Q. Now vector P is along this and vector Q is along this. The angle between them is theta. Now according to the parallelogram law of vector, the resultant is represented by the diagonal. And let this A, O, A, B, C. Now OA is reduced to D and CD is joined. This D, this angle is theta. Then from triangle COD, OC square equal to OD square plus CD square. So this is OA plus AD whole square plus CD square. Now OC square is R square equal to P square plus Q square plus twice PQ cos theta. So this is the resultant of the two vectors P and Q. Now beta is the angle. Beta is angle which the resultant makes with P. Then tan beta. Tan beta is CD by OD equal to CD divided by OA plus AD. Then CD is Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. Therefore, the angle beta is tan inverse of Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. So this is the angle which the resultant makes with x-axis. Now, the most important things we require in vector analysis is multiplication of vectors. So multiplication of vectors or product of vectors. So we can consider two types of vector multiplication, that is scalar or dot product. On vector or cross product. Vector or cross product. Now, say we have two vectors A and B. The angle between them is theta. Then dot product or scalar product, say it is written by A dot B. A dot B is defined as magnitude of A, magnitude of B, cos of the angle between A and B. So this is known as dot product. So the result is a scalar quantity. So after dot product we get a scalar quantity, so dot product is also known as scalar product. Then in case of vector product, so we have two vectors A and B, another vector B. The angle between them is theta. Then A cross B. A cross B is defined as magnitude of A, magnitude of B, sine of the angle between the two vectors, and a unit vector, where n is unit vector perpendicular to the plane of A and B. So this unit vector, sige AB plane, say plane of AB means a plane of the paper. Plane of the paper is the plane of A and B. So AB planes is the perpendicular over direction ani leni ko. Two directions which is perpendicular to the plane of AB. So the direction of, say, direction of unit vector n is determined by right-handed screw rule. Right-handed screw rule. Aduna A cross B. A cross B है. A cross B थी क्या हो रहा है? Perpendicular inward. B cross A हटा दी. It will be in the direction of perpendicular outward. A cross B is in the perpendicular inward and B cross A is in the perpendicular outward direction. Now say dot product between unit vectors. Dot product between unit vectors. So I is unit vector along x-axis, j is unit vector along y-axis, k is unit vector along z-axis. Then I dot I. I dot I is from the definition of dot product, magnitude of I, magnitude of j, cos of the angle between I and I, that is 0 degree. So this is 1 because magnitude of I is 1, magnitude of I is also 1, cos 0 is 1. Then I dot j equal to magnitude of I, magnitude of j, cos. What is the angle between I and j? It is 90 degree. So cos 90 degree. So cos 90 is 0. Then I dot k equal to, similarly, the angle between I and k is 90 degree. So this is 0. Like that you can find out j dot I, it will be 0, j dot j equal to 1, j dot k equal to 0, k dot I equal to 0, k dot j equal to 0, k dot k is equal to 1. So we know that I dot I equal to j dot j equal to k dot k equal to 1, others 0. Now say A is here gonna AXI plus AYJ plus AZK, and another vector, we have another vector B, BXI plus BYJ plus BZK. Then A dot B equal to AXI plus AYJ plus AZK dot BXI plus BYJ plus BZK. So by using the properties of dot product between unit vectors, we have AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. Now we can also find out the B dot A. B dot A is BXI plus BYJ plus BZK dot AXI plus AYJ plus AZK. So this is BXAX plus BYAY plus BZAZ. Hence A dot B is equal to B dot A because they are scalar products. Now we can consider some applications of dot product between unit vectors. Dot product between vectors. The application of the dot product. Application of dot product in physics. Number one, we can consider work done by a force. So work done by a force. So by work done, what we mean? So we consider a body of mass m. A force F is acting along this and body moves along this. Angle theta is the angle between the direction of the force and direction of motion of the body. So by work done is defined as the dot product of force and displacement. So from definition of dot product, magnitude of F, magnitude of D, and cos of the angle between between F and D. Now another application of dot product is we can define electric flux. So flux link with a small area element is, so d phi is E dot ds, where E is electric field and ds is area vector normal to the surface. And also the third example of dot product is the electric potential energy stored in an electric dipole placed in a uniform electric field. So, for example, we have an electric dipole Now the dipole is placed in a uniform electric field of intensity E. The dipole is placed. An electric dipole is a system of two equal and opposite charges separated by a short distance. So electric potential U is minus P dot E, where P is electric dipole moment. So electric dipole moment is magnitude of the one of the charge and the dipole length. So dipole length is 2a. And E is electric field. Now we have defined cross product. The cross product between two vectors A and B. So we have two vectors A and the vector B, angle between them is theta. Then A cross B is magnitude of A, magnitude of B, sine of the angle between the two vectors, and a unit vector n. Now cross product between unit vectors. So this is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So I cross I cross J, I cross K. So I cross I is magnitude of I, sine of the angle between I and I, that is 0 degree, so this is 0. Then I cross J is magnitude of I, magnitude of J, sine 90 degree, and the unit vector perpendicular to I and J. So using the right-handed screw rule, the direction of I cross J is along K, means along positive z-axis, so this is K. Similarly, I cross K will be minus J, and J cross I, J cross J, J cross K. So this is j cross I is minus k, j cross j is 0, j cross k is I, and k cross I, k cross j, k cross k. K cross k will be 0. So now you can draw a circle like this. I, j, k. I cross j is k, j cross k is I, k cross I is j, and reverse. When reverse, it will be minus. So k cross I is j, k cross j is minus I. So this is known as dot product between unit vectors. Now, not dot product, cross product between unit vectors. Now application. The applications of cross product. Number 1, angular momentum. Now angular momentum L is defined as R cross P, where R is radius vector or displacement, and P is linear momentum. Then we can also define torque. Torque is defined as R cross F, where R is simply radius vector or displacement, and F is force. And also we can consider an electric dipole placed in a uniform electric field. Okay, a dipole placed in a uniform electric field E. So torque on an electric dipole placed in a uniform electric field of intensity E is tau equal to P cross E, where P is dipole moment and E is electric field. Now another application, say among the hangba haitarako, say relation between electric electric field intensity and electric potential. Sida ko na the electric intensity is defined as negative gradient of the potential function. Sige matang sida ako na say case 1 in one dimension the E equal to minus dV by dr. So in one dimension we can put like this: x-axis we're gonna dV by dx, y-axis z-axis. The one dimension with a single axis. Then case to the in 3-dimensional space, the electric field E is grad B. Say read as grad B. Sino kya familiar with it? Maramdi noi class 11 gi physics ta sigi portion se kya yaugde. Andagi electrostatics 12 ki portion da su kya yaugde. Adi yaugdi yawe aduga noi familiar with it. Adubu sida based over question hangre mamang da NEET kida aduna ne aina si pusalai question do yadum thamakke. So I del by del x plus j del by del y plus k del by del z. So the b may be function of x, y, z. So not a partial differentiation angada partial differentiation tami calculus ta. So while differentiating with respect to x, we consider y, z constant. While differentiating with respect to y, we consider b and x and z as constant, will be treated as constant. While differentiating with respect to z, we consider x and y as constant. That is known as partial differentiation. Now, problem kitang nainasi. So number 1, say if a vector 2i plus 3j plus 8k is perpendicular to the vector 4j minus 4i plus alpha k, then the value of alpha is, say option A the half, B the minus half, C the 1, D the minus 1. C cái nó đã hàng có sẽ 2005. So the vector A equal to 2I plus 3J plus 8K, B equal to, C change the row, minus 4I plus 4J plus alpha K. Then A dot B equal to 0 because A is perpendicular to B only. So the angle between A and B is 90 degrees, so A dot B will be 0. So that is 2I plus 3J plus 8K dot minus 4I plus 4J plus alpha K equal to 0. So this is minus 8 plus 12 plus 8 alpha equal to 0, or alpha equal to minus 4 by 8. So this is minus half. So answer is B. Now A and B are two vectors and theta is the angle between them. If magnitude of A cross B is root 3 A dot B, root 3 times A dot B, the value of theta is 45 degree, 30 degree, 90 degree, 60 degree. So this was asked in 2007 NEET. So magnitude of A equal to root 3 times A dot B. So this is magnitude of A, magnitude of B, sine of A and B equal to root 3. A dot B is magnitude of A, magnitude of B, cos theta. So then theta equal to root 3, therefore theta equal to tan inverse of root 3, that is 60 degree. So D is the answer. then a particle has initial velocity 3I plus 4j and has acceleration 0.4I plus 0.3j. Its speed after 10 seconds is A 7 units, (7√2) units, 8.5 units, 10 units. This was asked in NEET 2010. So here initial velocity 3I plus 4j and acceleration is 0.4I plus 0.3j and time is 10 seconds. So final velocity v is u plus at. So v is equal to 3I plus 4j plus 0.4I plus 0.3j into 10. So this is 3I plus 4j plus 4I plus 3j. So this is 7I plus 7j. Now, so magnitude is 7 square plus 7 square. So that is 7√2 units. So answer is B. Question number 4. If the angle between the vectors A and B is theta, the value of B cross A dot A is equal to BA square sin theta BA square cos theta, BA square sin theta cos theta, and D 0. So this was asked in 2005. That time it was not NEET, AIPMT. AIPMT. Because NEET starts only in 2013. Here we consider two vectors, A, another vector B. Angle between them is theta. Now say direction of B cross A is perpendicular to the plane of A and B, that is plane of the paper, plane of the paper. So B cross A is perpendicular to the vector A. Therefore, B cross A dot A will be 0. So answer is D. Then now question number 6. The velocity of a projectile at the initial point A is (2i plus 3j meter per second). Its velocity in meter per second at B is option A 2i minus 3j 2i plus 3j minus 2i minus 3j minus 2i plus 3j. So this point is A, this point is B. So this was asked in 2013. NEET. Now here, so this is 2i, this is 3j. And at B, this is 2i, 3j. So velocity at B is 2i minus 3j. So answer is A. A particle is moving such that its position coordinate x, y are 2 meter, 3 meter at time t equal to 0, 6 meter, 7 meter at time t equal to 2 seconds, and 13 meter, 14 meter at time t equal to 5 seconds. Average velocity vector from t equal to 0 to t equal to 5 seconds is option A, the 1 by 5, 13i plus 14j. B, 7 by 3 I plus j. C, 2i plus j. D, 11 by 5 I plus j. This was asked in 2014 NEET. Now at t equal to 0, the radius vector or the position is 2i plus 3j meter. At t equal to 5 seconds, at t equal to 5 seconds, the position vector is 13i plus 14j. This is in meter. So displacement displacement r equal to r2 minus r1. So this is 11i plus 11j. Then average velocity equal to r2 minus r1 divided by 5. So this is 11 by 5 I plus j. So answer is D.